Hey guys, it's Zach here, and today we've got another great Hong Kong release from the folks at Eureka Entertainment. This time, they bring us a Wing Chun double feature from the great Sammo Hung. We have the 1978 film Warriors 2, starring Casanova Wong and Sammo Hung, and we have the 1981 film The Prodigal Son, featuring Yuen Biao and Lam Ching Ying. Presented together, both films make for an awesome back-to-back martial arts combo. Eureka has a very nice physical release for us to check out, packed with bonuses for each movie. But before we get to our copy, let's talk about each of the films on their own, starting off with Warriors 2. Being a film that focuses on Wing Chun, Warriors 2 of course takes place in the choice location of Foshan. Our director and supporting lead, played by Sammo Hung, is a poor tradesman always looking for any way to make a living, while touting his Wing Chun abilities, or lack thereof, among the others in town. Our primary lead and protagonist, played by Casanova Wong, is a teller at the local bank, but also happens to be an aspiring fighter in Wing Chun himself. The two of them are inadvertently swept up in a plot to overthrow and kill the mayor, so our abnormal pairing must rely on local doctor, Master Tsing, played by Leung Kar-yan, to teach them the ins and outs of Wing Chun so that they may defeat the evil bank owner and his sprawling list of minions. Full disclosure, I've only recently begun exploring Sammo Hung's filmography, and though I've only barely scratched the surface of his repertoire, Warriors 2 is by far my favorite film from him to date. Not only does it feature what is, in my opinion, one of the most photogenic fighting styles in Kung Fu cinema, Wing Chun, but it's packed with an insane amount of fights, featuring a wide variety of styles across a lengthy list of locations. The story is simple in a positive way, and it's easy enough to follow and supports the non-stop action well enough. Which brings me to the biggest point of excellency, the fight scenes. From classic fighting to wire fu to comedic sequences, the film keeps a blood-pumping pace as we're treated to fight after fight after fight, each one more interesting and intense than the last, culminating in a third act that has nearly zero downtime and a final fight that I'll be rewatching over and over. Needless to say, I really enjoyed Warriors 2 and was eager to jump into the second film in our release, The Prodigal Son. Released only a few years later and in some way as a prequel, The Prodigal Son follows Liang Chan, played by Yuen Biao. He's the cherished son of one of the wealthiest families in Foshan, and he enjoys practicing kung fu and appears to be an expert, easily garnering fans and defeating punks. However, it's revealed that his skills are a sham, as his family actually bribes people to throw fights, making their son look like an expert. One day, a couple of his men stir up trouble at the opera, and Liang Chan shows up to settle the fight. To his dismay, he loses severely to troop member Liang Yi Tai, played by Lam Ching Ying, revealing the sham and belittling our lead as he had no idea it was going on. So he decides to dedicate his life to Wing Chun, hoping to learn from Master Yi Tai's teachings. From there, we come across all sorts of characters both wacky and intimidating. We meet Master Wong Hua Bo, played by Sammo Hung, as well as a subtle antagonist, Nai Fei, played by Frankie Chan, who shows up to challenge our leads. As you can see, this film is absolutely studded with a list of Kung Fu cinema stars. The cast seems endless, as the film strikes a perfect balance between action, comedy, and drama. After the non-stop intensity of Warriors 2, I was pleasantly surprised at the change of pace we get from The Prodigal Son. This movie had my blood pumping, my belly laughing, and my emotions drawn in. There's a fantastic amount of fighting, both serious and comedic, and the writing is actually quite complex compared to the standard fare one gets with Kung Fu films. I was engaged in what was going on in the overarching story, and I was interested in the bits of drama and dialogue woven throughout, and when anything bad happened to our main characters, I actually cared. A great sign of the work put into this film, and its writing and characters. I have to say, The Prodigal Son is ultimately another amazing entry from Sammo Hung's filmography, pulling this release together for one of my favorite Kung Fu double features in a long time. Not only are these films a fantastic example of Sammo Hung's directorial range, but they're brought to us in an enticing release from Eureka Entertainment. Their increase in Kung Fu releases over the last year or so has been an absolute treat, so let's go unbox today's release and see what all is included. Here we are with our physical copy of Warriors 2 and The Prodigal Son, as presented by Eureka Entertainment. I'm loving this steady stream of Kung Fu cinema we've been getting from the label, and this one here is another solid entry into the lineup. It comes with a standard style slipcover, featuring newly commissioned artwork on the front, and all of the release information on the back. Underneath, we have our clear Blu-ray case with the original poster work for each film depicted on the sleeve. and they've tucked in a fold-out poster alongside it as well. The fold-out poster is a fairly standard size for this sort of release, and features again the original posters for each film on opposing sides. Personally, I'm more pulled in by the art for Warriors 2, but after watching The Prodigal Son, I do enjoy the comedic look to its depiction. With the poster aside, we move back to our case and can open it up to see what's inside. We have 2 discs, one for each film, housed on the right in separate flaps. On the left, we also get a booklet to read. Running 36 pages cover to cover, this booklet features 2 articles by film critic and historian James Oliver. He focuses on each film in their own articles, discussing them at length, as well as director and actor Sammo Hung. Dispersed among the writing, we also have a variety of photos and posters to look at, making for a great read and a great inclusion overall. On top of that, we finish off our physical release with the always notable reversible sleeve. The reverse option of our case sleeve features the full, newly commissioned artwork for each film on their own respective sides. With that, however, we've completed our unboxing, so let's head on over to the discs and check out all the bonus features Eureka has included, starting with Disc 1. To start us out, Warriors 2 is presented with both the Hong Kong theatrical version and the international export version, with accompanying Cantonese mono audio and English dubbed audio respectively. Our subtitles for the film are newly translated for this release, and on top of that, we get 2 brand new audio commentary tracks to listen to as well. The first is with Asian film expert Frank Zhang and his guest, martial arts expert and actor Bobby Samuels. As always, Zhang is a welcome name to have on any kung fu release, as he shares his expertise with consistency and intrigue, this time bringing alongside him an awesome partner to watch the film with. Samuels is one of, if not the biggest African-American star in the Hong Kong film industry, having worked with and even lived with Sammo Hung for some time. Samuels brings in a ton of insight, information, and stories to share as our 2 hosts record an awesome track for that second watching. If you find yourself wanting even more Warriors 2 action, we have our second commentary track to listen to as well. This one overlays the international export version of the film and features the always great to see duo Mike Leader and Arna Venema. As usual, the 2 of them bring a high-energy, high-entertainment track as they simultaneously share their wealth of information on the film and its stars while talking back and forth about what's on screen, like 2 friends you love to watch movies with. I can't recommend both of these commentary tracks enough, and I'm quite happy with the consistency from all parties involved, as Hong Kong cinema continues to be released from boutique labels like Eureka and 88 Films. Moving on, we have a handful of video bonuses to watch after the film as well. There are, of course, 2 trailers for the movie, 1 Hong Kong release trailer and 1 international release trailer, as well as a stills gallery containing 15 photos, posters, lobby cards, and more. The primary visual extra here, however, is a making-of featurette on Warriors 2, running just over 45 minutes long, titled The Way of the Warrior, The Making of Warriors 2. Featuring several people from across the board, we have Bei Logan, Leung Kar-yan, Sammo Hung, Fong Hak-on, Gai Lai, and more, as they discuss all sorts of aspects about the film, from having to study and learn Wing Chun for the shoot, to working with a multilingual crew as filming took place in both Hong Kong and Korea. There's a ton of discussion to be had on the production and its inspirations, making this lengthy featurette a must-have for both fans of Sammo Hung and Wing Chun in cinema. If you find yourself wanting more movie and supplement goodness with a Wing Chun focus, then stay tuned as we flip on over to the second disc in our set with The Prodigal Son. Presented alongside both the original Cantonese mono audio with newly translated subtitles and the optional English dubbed audio is The Prodigal Son. Returning once more for the second film in our set, we have again 2 brand new commentary tracks with Frank Zhang and Bobby Samuels on one, and Mike Leader and Arna Venema on the other. There isn't much more to say than I already have on these pairings, as the commentary tracks for The Prodigal Son continue to make those rewatches just as entertaining as the first. Check them out for all the background info, film insights, and rewatch entertainment one could need. As we shift into our visual supplements on Disc 2, we start out with 2 archival interview videos running at just under an hour in total. The first is with Sammo Hung, Yuen Biao, and Frankie Chan, titled The Heroic Trio, in which they talk all about The Prodigal Son as a production, Wing Chun and its conversion to choreography, and more. Our second interview features Guy Lai, as well as Austin Go for some Wing Chun demonstrations. Guy Lai discusses Wing Chun as a martial art, as well as its implementation in film, and the challenges in making it a spectacle to watch, even with its simplistic foundation. These two interviews overall make for a great highlight of both The Prodigal Son as a production and Wing Chun as a fighting style, leading us into our final major inclusion in this release, Wing Chun 101, a 30-minute featurette with Sifu Alex Richter, and once more, film expert Frank Zhang. The two tour Richter's martial arts class space as he discusses Wing Chun and its depiction in The Prodigal Son, as well as some of the demonstrations of the style and its fundamental basics, solidifying this release as a must-have for those interested in learning more about Wing Chun itself. As we near the end of Eureka's disc for The Prodigal Son, we round out the supplements with several more instances of the usual goodies. We have the alternate English titles and credits for the film, an image gallery containing 24 stills and lobby cards, and a collection of trailers to watch, including an original theatrical trailer, an international release trailer, and a US home video trailer. With that, however, we've completed our look at Eureka Entertainment's Wing Chun double feature of Warriors 2 and The Prodigal Son. If you're a fan of Sammo Hung's work and the extensive cast and crew he brings with him, then this release is a no-brainer. If you're newer to Kung Fu cinema and are looking for a good place to start, these two films work great to show off both the intense, non-stop action side of things and the comedic side of Hung's directorial style. The bonus content included only works to elevate the feature films, and I can't recommend it enough. If you've seen these films before, let me know what you think of them down in the comments. Are you a fan of the Wing Chun Spotlight, or perhaps you prefer other styles and choreography in film? Let me know. Until then, thanks so much for joining me once more on Pajama Theater. Like this video and subscribe to support the channel, and as always, thanks again, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.